Nvidia's ray tracing seems to have taken the world by storm, and even though not a lot of titles are running it yet, it is something that you hear talked about all the time, ray tracing this, ray tracing that. Now, Nvidia has originally only released ray tracing for their RTX lineup, but after a few months, they have unlocked ray tracing via a driver update and a Windows update to their 90 and to their other graphics card of the 10 series, for example. I'm running right now with a 1660 Ti that, while being from the newer family of cards, does not have integrated support for ray tracing. So let's do a little bit of testing to see how good those cards can actually ray trace. I'm sure this video has been done because this has happened a while back already. I just haven't had the time to test it, but let's do it again for the sake of comparison and just to, I'm actually curious myself how my system can handle it. If you don't have games that handle ray tracing so you cannot test it yourself and you wish to, worry not. Nvidia has a few ray tracing demos available for download, so you can try it even if you don't own any games. They weren't very easy to find, but a quick Google search for Nvidia ray tracing demo download sent me to the correct page at the Nvidia website. You have to scroll down a bit for the news article, but there are a few demos available. This is the one that they originally used to showcase ray tracing, as well as a couple of others that you can simply download here via the download link. Again, the 1660 Ti is not a high-end GPU. It also does not really have hardware specialized for ray tracing, the RT cores, so I am not expecting stellar performance. However, I am playing on the 1080p. On the other hand, the card also does not have DLSS, so you won't have that feature of the RTX cards either, boosting your frame rate. So it's a bit of a mix and match. I'm playing on low resolution, but it's a mid-range card at best, without specialized hardware, so don't expect anything, but not expect anything amazing, I mean. So, but yeah, I just want to really check how good a card like this can run ray tracing, and if the news that Nvidia has allowed everyone to ray trace actually are worth anything, or if it's really just a publicity stunt to make people want to try it and to buy a better graphics card. Full disclosure, the test system is an Intel 9700K. It's overclocked right now to 5.2 GHz, RAM 16 GB of G-Skill, 3600 MHz at CL17, and we are running the newest Nvidia drivers and Windows updates and all that after mitigation. With this setup, I don't expect that there will be any CPU bottlenecks or anything of the sort. It's all resting on the graphics card, especially considering it's 1080p, and the CPU should easily be able to provide enough resources to a 1660 Ti. Now the demo is finished installing. It's giving me a warning that DLSS is not supported for this GPU, which we already knew. This is the resolution, and again, this is not the ideal test setting because the recording program is also running, so it's taking some resources. But let's just see what it does and how it performs. Right off the bat, the loading process took quite a bit of time. However, we can see that the image quality is pretty decent. There is no issues. It's not really stuttering or lagging too much. And I am hitting around the 20 something to 30 FPS at the max, but mostly around the 28 or something mark. The average FPS right now is 21. I'll reset. No, I'll let it run actually, because you can actually see the FPS out there. So it's nothing really to write home about. 20 FPS is nothing that you can really play for an extended amount of time at. We are having quite a few drop downs. As you can see, the GPU is at 100%, so the GPU is clear of the bottleneck here, nothing else. Dropping down to 10 FPS at certain points, with the high points being 30. I have not seen it go up to 30 very often. It's at 33 right now actually, but that's not really the rule and more the exception. As you can see, and as you could see especially in the previous scene, the lighting effects are quite amazing and the shadows are really nice and well done. They look pretty realistic, so the quality of what you get and what you see is not in question. It's more the performance that the card does while doing it. We see higher FPS in some scenes with a lot of dips in other scenes, like here, it's dropping down again. As long as there's a light source, like this little ball of light that's floating around, that's when ray tracing happens, and that's when you see the performance dips. However, if you look at the quality of light, where it's shining from the thing, and the shadows and all those things, it really does look quite nice. That was one of the demos. I'm not going to run them all because I think it does achieve the point of that what I'm trying to say. You see high FPS, well, and by high I mean 30 something. In some scenes it did spike up to about the 50 something, 60 in a couple of other scenes where there was not a whole lot of lighting involved. But you do get the idea of what mid to low end cards can achieve with ray tracing. It's just not really playable. Even at 1080p, which is the least demanding uh, full HD setting that you can possibly play on, it's not really playable. You can play at 20 FPS perhaps at most, and that's about it. So does it really matter that Nvidia enabled the RTX for lower end cards? Not really. You get to a sneak peek at the image quality and lighting quality. As far as playing goes, I don't think a lot of people would be happy playing at these frame rates, so it's not really useful. If you have something like a 1080 Ti, you might get slightly better frame rates than you saw in this video. However, how much I am unable to test and show you, but will it be playable? Probably still not at ideal settings, at least not at the settings that you are used to playing normal rasterized games on a 1080 Ti. Should you expect to ray trace on this graphics card? Again, obviously not. I think that this move by Nvidia is more to let people have a taste of ray tracing, see for themselves what it looks like on their screens, and perhaps give them a reason to upgrade if they like what they're seeing and if they value that image fidelity as much. Now, this was just the technical demo from Nvidia. Was not an actual real game, so it might not be a completely accurate representation of gameplay. It might be even worse, it might be a bit better. We'll have to see. I do plan to get a game or two with ray tracing for both for enjoying it myself and for testing purposes in the future and for benchmarking. So stay posted. I will probably post a video of testing ray tracing in that games and how well it performs on the 1660 Ti. For now, this has been Addict PC Guy. Hope this has shed some light if you were curious how to test ray tracing on your card and how well it would perform. Head to the download page, download and install the demo, and see it for yourself. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I'll see you guys in the next video, and in the meantime, have fun.